Hello everybody, it's Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. I hope everybody's doing well. It's May 16, 2025, and I'm going to read a couple of things about animal cruelty. And no, for those of you who have been asking, and it's very saddening, the fox is not here. The fox shows up every night, sometimes in the morning, several times during the night, specific times, sets off motion lights and everything. Zoomies been outside probably waiting for the fox, and it has not been here since Saturday. And I'm thinking that I don't remember if Saturday or Friday was the last time I saw the fox. I would definitely have to look at the videos that I posted about it, because Saturday we had the live stream, and it started at 10 o'clock, and a lot of times the fox will show up around like 8 or 8:30 or 9, and then it will pick up an egg, run off with it, and then come back a few minutes later. So this happens several times during the night. It's like a procedure, so that I'll see the motion sensor lights turning on and off for long periods of time. Also, the fox will sometimes run across the yard and go to the cat food dish on the porch. But no, the fox has been gone. And I'm not sure if it's Saturday or Friday, but the fox I have not seen Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So, tonight. So, something was done to this fox, and I will tell you as a fact that since moving to Kentucky, 31 of my cats, whether I brought them from New Jersey, whether I adopted them here, have been poisoned, run over, immobilized, burned, infected. Just horrible things. And that's just with the cats. They've done it to roosters, hens. I recently shared a video with a subscriber about what they did to baby chicks. Now, there were a couple of baby chicks that the mama was just not taking care of them well. So I brought them into my house, and they started to do really well. So I left them on my bed, kept them warm and stuff. I go into the cats building, and this is always the case, and this is why there's some criminal on my property all the time. I come back, I come into my house, the front door, and I hear screaming, like chirping, like crazy. I go into my bedroom, and those baby birds were scalped. And yeah, I have photos and a video. They were scalped. Their skulls, their heads were raw. Did somebody come in and out of my house and do it, or did they do it remotely? That's the question of the day. But I'm going to tell you for a fact, because I'm usually not awake at 4 a.m. But I was yesterday, or I should say this morning. And I'm lying down, going to sleep. And the reason was because these criminals put me to sleep while I'm at the laptop here. By the time I showered and stuff, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. This is the second time I've heard this. In the middle of my bedroom, in the ceiling, there's a noise that clicks on. It's not normal. Somebody's probably rigged my bedroom with some device that clicks on at a certain time of the night. And I'm usually asleep at 4 a.m. And I'm sure all of you who've heard the recent videos that you could hear radio frequencies for hours and hours in the distance. And this is new. This is over 2 days. But thank you, subscriber, for giving me this article that I'm going to read. And before I read the article, please remember to hit the thumbs up and share. We're going to talk about a very distressing topic. And con artist said under my video response to I know nothing to perp comment, no Fox, defamation and karmic debt. He writes, and I know some of you don't get the opportunity to read all of the comments. He said, the Bible says in Luke 14:5, then he said to them, who of you, if his son or bull falls into a well, will not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath day? Back in Jesus' time, Sabbath day was to be strictly observed. For those that disobeyed Sabbath were heavily penalized. But in Luke 14:5, God makes exceptions on Sabbath day for animals in distress and commands the people to give aid to animals in distress even on Sabbath day. My point being, God will soon serve judgment upon all, and the people harming your beloved pets and animals will not escape his judgment. May their God have mercy on them on that day. Thank you. And now here is a Christian response to animal cruelty by faith. We need to do something about animal cruelty for many reasons. First, because Genesis 1:26-28 says that animals made by God were placed under our dominion, which means he intended for us to take care of them. Second, because abusing animals could make them violent. Animals who are abused will lash out at anyone who's near as a form of self-defense because they are scared. And third, because serial killers often start out abusing animals before going to their human victims. That is a fact. In addition to viewing pornography, another fact. This means animal cruelty is connected to domestic violence, according to Stecker, Domestic Violence and Animal Cruelty Connection. By doing something about the abuse of animals, you're caring for them. You should be kind to animals because they were made by God. Genesis 1:26-28 tells how God made us in his image to rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky, over the livestock and all of the wild animals of earth. And if we are made in his image, why are we letting his creation be abused? By taking care of animals, we are showing good stewardship of what God has given us. And again, in Proverbs 12:10, it says, quote, whoever is righteous and has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel, unquote. Another reason is because abusing them can make them violent. Animals who are abused start to become scared of people. So whenever someone is around, they may get frightened and lash out as self-defense. It could bite you if it thinks it would if you would harm it. It also makes it hard to find homes for pets. Hundreds of animals are euthanized each year at shelters because of abuse, according to the humanesociety.org. The animals go there very sick and in horrible condition, that there is nothing the shelters can do. Oh, but yeah, let's rehome them. You know nothing. Agent, Fusion Center operative. The last reason I will be discussing is the most serious. Serial killers often start out as animal abusers. Stecker, Domestic Violence and Animal Cruelty Connection. Jeffrey Dahmer and Albert D. Salro, also known as the Boston Strangler, both had histories of abusing animals as children. They would trap animals in boxes and shoot arrows at them or impale them on sticks. In fact, around 95% of unalivers have admitted to starting on animals. They would practice on them until they perfected it and then once mastered, turn to their human victims. Even as children, they would burn and torture animals. Cynthia Hodges writes on the website animallaw.info that men who abuse animals are 5 times more likely to be arrested for violence towards humans, 4 times more likely to have committed property crimes, and 3 times more likely to have records for drugs and disorderly conduct offense. This right here shows that animal abuse doesn't just affect animals, it affects humans too. We need to help stop abuse, not only to save the animals, but also maybe to save a human life as well. Some people would argue that saying that animals do not reason, think, or feel pain like we do. Sure, they do not reason, but they do feel pain. When you step on a cat's tail, does it just sit there and do nothing? No. It lashes out and bites you and scratches you because you hurt it. God gave animals a sense of pain as well. And they can tell when they're hungry or thirsty. They have feelings just like ours in that way. You shouldn't just abuse an animal or sit by and let it happen just because you're bigger and better. Like all you little weenies around here. You want to trap a fox. Huh, you little fucking weenies? Want to make animals sick? Unalive kittens? Others could take this too far in the other direction and say that even hunting and eating meat is abusing them because you kill the animals for means other than self-defense. Oh, like stuffing skinned animals in a mailbox. A felony, a federal crime. Good job investigating it, Sheriff. Good job. It was probably one of your go-along to get along informants. But I say again, God gave us animals to eat. He gave them to us to use as well as to care of. People have been eating meat since the Bible times. It's better for a deer to be shot and eaten by humans than to be shot or injured and left to die. It's part of what we were created for. And then we have the old, oh, we owe it. We owe them, so we can't be mean to them. And they have rights, by Roland, page 9. We do not owe them anything, and they do not have rights, people say. It's mostly evolutionists who say this, because they believe we evolved from them, so we owe them in some way. We did not evolve from them, as the Bible says, that we were created by God in His image. They do not have rights because they're animals. They are not living humans who deserve things. And because of this, a lot of people associate this issue with becoming vegetarians, like myself. Singer P171. Because if you become a vegetarian, you're not harming a poor, helpless animal. You don't have to be a vegetarian to solve the problem. But I don't want to be a contributor to it either. You could do things as simple as teaching your kids the importance of being kind to animals, and I certainly did do that. Or you could donate to different shelters or organizations that work with this, and I did do that. You could make a one-time donation or monthly donations. I have a 501c3 nonprofit cat rescue. I donate every day of the week. Or when you have all done all your research and know you want to get a pet, adopt from a shelter. It's like giving a forgotten animal a home again. There are organizations such as the Humane Society that are dedicated to helping put a stop to this. The girl that drowned puppies was caught and fined. Many abusers are caught and fined by different organizations. You can help by taking care of your own pets. By doing this, you're making sure that at least your pets are safe. If you have the time, you could volunteer at a local shelter and making sure that the animals have some care and attention. And one of my friends did this. She was volunteering at a shelter for so long, and she is a dog person. I'm laughing because she sent me a picture of her new pet, and it was a cat. I could not believe it. I don't think she's ever had a cat before. But she said the cat's been there for 4 years. At the shelter. Imagine being stuck in a damn shelter for 4 years. She said, I had to take it home. Christians need to set an example to the rest of the world by being good stewards of the pets and animals God has given to them. If Christians are being mean to animals and not showing love for them, even in little ways, what will the world think? We need to show how a biblical worldview and a belief in God can change our attitude towards animals and the world around us, and help put an end to animal cruelty. And in this bibliography, they quoted the humanesociety.org, Stecker, Michigan Bar Journal, Hodges Animal Law.info, Rowland Animal Rights and Human Morality, and Singer Animal Liberation. And thank you so much, Deb, for providing this article to me. It's the Christian Response to Animal Cruelty by Faith. It is themcc.org. themcc.org if you'd like to view the entire article. I didn't go into the details of some of the cruelty that was cited because it's graphic. So on that note, I will be calling the Fish and Wildlife, and I did start to look for a den, and I spent 2 hours cleaning up, and I did not find anything that looked like a den in the woods where I was looking. I did not go up high enough, and I need to do that. I need to look around. I was kind of hoping that Zoomy would point me in the right direction. But usually when I'm around Zoomy, he follows me. He's not like, he's like a dog, but he's not like a dog in pointing me in directions that I need to go. I mean, he'll tend to just follow me wherever I go. So please leave a comment down below. What are your comments on this animal cruelty? Oh, it runs deeper than that. Much, much deeper than that. But there are some things you just can't say on VayTube. But I can post some information down below. Anybody that's interested. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals have been dealing with these conundrums for decades. And I know decades because I'm in my 60s. And I remember going back into my 20s. Yeah, I was one of those people who, when I worked in New York City, I was so against the Drey's rabbit test. For anybody that's not familiar with the Drey's rabbit test, this is where research scientists, who are some of the most sadistic people on the planet, immobilized rabbits, side by side, sort of like a guillotine would be. But instead of cutting off their heads, they would drip cosmetics into their eyes. And rabbits don't have tear ducts. Their eyes don't blink the way your eye, which is why rabbits are so important to these psychotic scientists testing cosmetics on these poor creatures. It's sort of like for the women out there that wear mascara or eyeliner. And that's basically what they would do, is test it. Now, every once in a while, I know it's happened to me thousands of times probably in my lifetime, where I'll be applying the cosmetics and I'll slip. I'll get a little bit in the corner of my eye, and what do? I grab a paper towel, a tissue, get in the corner there, or if my eye makeup is not on, I'll just use an eye wash. But that's not what they were doing. And I need to add that Revlon was performing the Drey's rabbit test. They ended up doing away with it, but it wasn't after a long time. So I worked at an advertising agency in the same building as Revlon. And see, back in the day, security wasn't all that tight. You could walk in and out of anybody else's office. And, you know, Revlon being as big as they are, they had their own cafeteria. So I would go into their cafeteria during lunchtime with my flyers and just casually post them around and leave them on the tables there. Let the employees know who they're really working for. So it's not just what these psychopaths do in research, but this is happening across the world. It's happening across the country. There's a woman, YouTube creator. It's called Save a Fox. She is absolutely remarkable. And if anybody wants to donate to anything to do with a fox, I would donate to her. I've donated to her. What she does is she buys out fur farms across the country. She buys them out. She buys them all out with your donations. She rescues them all, vets them all, and has locations all across the country. It's phenomenal. And she's got a fox cam that you can see the fox dens. So I was curious because I don't know what a fox den looks like. So I was able to see what it looks like on her property. And again, when I was looking for, I did not find a fox den, but it's probably in another location. I mean, it's a big property. There could be many of them. So you can see that this is a systemic problem. In China, they have dog meat farms. Yeah, what they do is they send people out to steal pets. Dogs, you know, that are running loose, dogs that get away. I mean, the images are just horrific. But there are groups out there that are doing exactly the same thing, buying out those businesses. And just for the record, talk about animal cruelty and animal breeding here in Kentucky. They need to strengthen the laws here in Kentucky on the breeding of animals here. Because people don't know what the hell they're doing. They just do it for some extra money. Oh, and if it's not in a good animal, they'll just let it loose on the county road. Or do other things like starve them. So that's my my little rant here. I'm still angry. I'm very upset about the missing fox. But thank you everybody for these the information here. Because the wrath of God will be falling upon these fuckers, these animal abusers, and all of the go along to get alongs, all the law enforcement that don't arrest the people that are performing these cruel acts. Karma's on its way to you too. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Please leave a comment down below. And I posted one last thing. I just posted a video of a flyer that Karen Stewart wrote a few years back. I read it on my channel 2 years ago. It's still there. I didn't realize I already read it. So I read it again, which is okay. But you can clearly hear that I kept losing my space in reading because the fuckers were sending frequencies to knock me out. I guess my favorite Bureau of Instigation didn't want the flyer out there again. Too bad. Another thing that I received, thank you so much. You know, Kash Patel Kash Patel wrote a book. Yeah, he actually wrote a book called Government Gangsters. A former top official in the White House, the Department of Defense, the Intelligence Community, and the Department of Justice pulls back the curtain on the deep state, revealing the major players and tactics within the permanent government. It's got 4.8 out of 5 stars. Now, what's really interesting is Senator Rand Paul wrote a similar book. It's called Government Bullies. So now, Kash Patel is in charge of my favorite bureau. I wonder how he's going to deal with the corruption based upon this book that he wrote in 2023. I'm curious. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope everybody's doing well. Please share if you feel inclined to do so. Leave a comment. Have you read this book by Kash Patel, Government Gangsters, or the one from Rand Paul? I've got it here. I've just skimmed through it. Signing off for now.